Today we are going to be unpacking 5 reasons why it is not too late to dive into video content in 2025. Video content is the absolute king when it comes to consumption. There is a big perception of like, oh, if I didn't start a TikTok account in 2020, it's over.
It's not over.
Social media platforms and their algorithms are favoring video content. TikTok literally turned static imagery into a video format.
It's about the content becoming more engaging. People are like animating graphics.
I don't think static content will ever go away, but I think it's about how you can best optimize it for engagement. Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, those are 3 massive main platforms that have already brought changes just in the past year to lean more towards this influx of video content that their consumers are wanting. The algorithms want video content, and if you aren't creating video content of some form, you are going to be on the back foot. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the 4Words podcast. Today I'm joined by Oriana. Hello.
Hi. How's it going?
She is a social media manager at Full-Time Creatives. However, social media management as a role has massively shifted, I would say, in the past 2 years.
100%.
Yeah. And that transition has occurred because of the massive importance that is being placed on video content. Today, we are going to be unpacking 5 reasons why it is not too late to dive into video content in 2025. So the structure of our podcasts normally go with a marketing update. We delve straight into the main topic and we end off with a really strong foresight, which is normally our I told you so moments. So for today's marketing update, before we dive into video content, Oriana, let's talk about the Jag rebrand.
So they decided to rebrand, right? Great, fine. Okay, cool. A rebrand is sometimes necessary, right?
I mean, KDW rebranded to 4 times.
Sure.
That
yeah.
was
and
a
that was,
big upgrade.
And it was lovely.
Yeah.
But now, my issue is, and I think everybody's issue is, when a company decides to rebrand and it's like completely detached from what they were originally.
Yes.
I feel like if you want to appeal to a new audience, you can just like reframe your marketing strategies. You don't have to completely rebrand, but okay.
Yeah.
This video, so they launched with a video, right?
Yes, they did.
It's very confusing because it's like, we don't see one car in the video.
No.
And it's very colorful, very beautiful, very like
people-focused, high fashion vibes.
Yeah. And it's like, what brand is this? Was it Victoria's Secret?
Yeah,
or is
I
it?
hear that comment. I think that is in general people's frustration. I don't want to say that the rebrand in general was a hard miss, right? Because of the fact that, okay, if we look past the logo, the font, the spacing, if we look past that,
The capital G and everything else is small caps.
we're not going to look at those things. If we look just at the video, I think the concept was great, and people will disagree, but it's subjective. Art is subjective. Advertising is subjective.
Yeah.
Branding is very subjective. But I think what people have the real issue with is this intense 180 from what the brand presented and like the energy it gave off to something completely new, something completely different. Do I think that that's a bad thing? Not necessarily, depending on what their goal is. I think they, as a team, from what I've seen, have dropped the rebrand and kind of just taken a step back and just let it simmered in the industry, which I don't think is a bad thing either. However, I'm just like, what's next? Like, is there going to be an explanation of why it went 180? Is there going to be, someone actually sent me, it was really funny. We were speaking about it yesterday. I'll show you the video. There was a video that someone created with AI where the next ad is just going to be an actual Jaguar running in and just like chasing all the people away. And it's like, we're a brand who knows itself, like that type of vibe. I think if there's a next step like that, it could be cool.
Yeah.
If there's no next step and it is just their new brand, I think that they're just going to struggle a little bit to retain the same status as what they once had because of how rapid the change was.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It feels like it was a very rushed change.
And very unexpected
I'm sure it wasn't,
as well.
but
Because usually like with things like this, or not usually, I feel like a lot of brands also just like drop news like that overnight. But I feel like if it's such a massive shift, like you said, you kind of have to like tease it for a bit to like ease people into the vibe and like let them understand why it's happening in the first place.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see what happens.
I do also think it depends on the size of the brand. Because if I play devil's advocate and I didn't particularly enjoy the Jag rebrand. I thought it was very, very different very quickly. Like there was not a single like golden thread from their previous brand to their new one that I could identify as a consumer.
It's just confusing as a consumer.
100%. But if I play devil's advocate and I look at KDW to full-time, girl, like everything changed. We have different colors, we have different fonts. Our logo's completely different. Our name changed. Like they're not little changes. But I think if you have a brand that big, that's that globally recognized, like do your customer the service of making it a transitionary period where, like you said, you almost tease certain changes. The logo changes first. Then there's a new campaign that transitions into a different like marketing direction. Like things like that I think would have been better received.
Yeah, I also think so.
From a consumer perspective. I do want to talk about, and this is going to segue into something a little bit more serious because it's actually not funny. We posted a TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
And it ended up doing really well. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it got around 30 or 40,000 views. A lot of comments. I understand that in the creative space, like I said, everything is subjective. Everyone has their own opinions and everyone has the right to express those opinions. However, jumping on a hate bandwagon is one thing, but using that hate bandwagon as an excuse to be any of the ists, so racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, misogynistic, not on.
Why?
Literally not on. And I think that's something that as a brand must be so intimidating coming out with something like that. Imagine you have just relaunched this massive campaign. Not only do you have to worry about the fact that people don't like it, you have to worry about these horrible individuals who are using it as an excuse to be hateful.
Yeah, that's really rough. I mean, we literally posted one video. And we were saying that we don't really like the rebrand. And already we saw all of this like hate on our side. So imagine what Jaguar. So imagine what Jaguar is going through.
But yeah, it's just not an excuse.
Yeah.
It is never, ever an excuse. And I think that's something that it's just so sad because these platforms are so incredible and they offer so much visibility to brands and to people and to creators and influencers to do such incredible things and get new eyes on them. But to have to consistently be so fearful and scared of people using something that they don't agree with as a reason to be hateful is just horrible. So this is your PSA. Don't be any of those things.
You're getting blocked.
Not just getting blocked. I reported all of you.
And reported, yeah.
I reported all of you for hate speech. I hope your accounts get banned. And I hope your fiber has an outage.
Oh.
So that you can actually go outside and touch some grass. Anyways, segueing into our main topic. Today we're going to be speaking about video content.
Yes.
And why it needs to be a massive, if not the biggest part of your strategy going into 2025.
And why you shouldn't be afraid of it. And it's not too late if you haven't started.
I think there is a big perception of like, if I didn't start a TikTok account in 2020, it's over.
It's not over.
People are still amassing massive followings overnight. Speaking of, just a quick little tidbit. Did you see the woman in, I can't remember what state she's in, but a South African creator reshared her video and like gave a bit of context. But it's a creator somewhere in the States that was digging up her fence to put in a fire pit.
And she found the rug.
She found a rolled up carpet.
Yeah.
Where she was digging in the fence poles. And I mean, she amassed a following of 1.5 million people
in like
who were
one day.
Interested in what was going to happen in a day. So it's not too late. You have John Michael behind the camera is still absolutely gooped. So to delve deeper into today's topic, we are going to be unpacking 5 reasons why you are not too late to get started with video content in 2025. And this topic was actually, we were thinking about what we wanted to discuss as we went into the 2025 calendar year. 2024 has obviously been massive for social media. It's been massive for video content. It's been massive for full time as a company. And I think a big thing that we've been focused on, I mean, Kate wrote an article on it about it as well, is this whole concept of a marketing retainer and what you need to look at including in that to have a successful strategy in 2025. So in the article, Kate basically unpacks why a marketing retainer will probably increase more than just your standard inflation increase at the end of the financial year going into 2025. And that is because of the inclusion of video content. Video content takes a lot longer than graphic content. It's a lot more intentional. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more well thought out. It's not something you can, sometimes, I want to say 10% of the videos you can quickly put together. 90% of them, there has to be intention and impact with the thought process. So we wanted to unpack 5 reasons why you should be looking at video content and why you aren't too late to hop on the train.
Yeah.
The first point is video content is the absolute king when it comes to consumption. I cannot agree with this more. I literally cannot agree with it more. I think that graphics and stills, I don't even consume them, and I work in this space.
No, exactly. That's the whole point. Like, this is why we're saying it's not too late. First of all, it's not a scary thing. If you haven't started already, it's not like, oh, I didn't join TikTok, like you said, in 2020. Now I can't do it. You can. Because I feel like even the massive platforms like YouTube, for example, where someone could have the perceived conception that like, okay, I didn't start YouTube back in the day, I'm never going to get that big.
Yeah, if you didn't start a channel in 2014, you'll never make it.
Yeah, but the thing is, these platforms themselves are also evolving. So the way we're consuming the content is also changing.
100%.
So no, if you create content like you were supposed to in 2008, that's not going to perform now.
Yeah.
But if you...
I mean, have you seen some of the YouTube videos from 2008?
We have all fallen victim
They were like those stop-start videos that you used to be able to film on your MacBook.
Yeah.
In your photo.
But that was
your photo library.
That was the vibes, guys. That was the vibes. But even videos from like 2, 3, 4 years ago are outdated by now. So the way we consume the content is much different. Like we've spoken about how this FaceTime sort of content and like slower, more intentionally edited, not that like super fast-paced stuff. That's going out of preference.
It's going out of style.
Out of style?
Yeah, I think people are getting really over seeing the same thing done the exact same way by millions and millions of people.
And the videos being so overstimulating as well. I feel like people are just so over that.
Yeah.
So yes, video is king for content consumption.
The second point, and I think this is probably one of the most prevalent, I would love to talk about the platform updates that have come out in the past year alone in 2024 as a bit of a recap, to talk about how much these social media platforms and their algorithms are favoring video content. I mean, the first thing that jumps off the top of my head, and feel free to hop in as well, is how TikTok literally turned static imagery into a video format.
Yeah.
Because they knew that that's the only way that it was going to perform.
Yeah,
Like,
that's so true, hey.
even with Instagram, how they've incorporated music to be able to, like when you scroll, there's now music. You can add videos in your carousel, which you never could do before.
Yeah.
Well, not with music added. It's things like that where I'm like, everything, even static content, is pointing towards the algorithm favoring video.
It's about it, like the content becoming more engaging. Even like now people are like animating graphics.
100%.
And it just looks so cool. And it's about that user experience. I also saw recently on TikTok, which I loved, was because you still have the option of having like the photo carousel, which is obviously less engaging. But someone figured out, and I tried to do it on my TikTok and it didn't work, but someone figured out how to have the photo carousel with a voiceover. And then she was like,
that is sick.
She was like, swipe when I tell you to swipe. And then she's like telling the stories of like all the photos.
That's sick.
How cool.
That's sick. I really like that story. I think that's capitalizing on, I don't think static content will ever go away, but I think it's about how you can best optimize it for engagement, like you said.
Exactly.
Because it's almost like you can see photos on like for example, your monthly photo dump that you do on Instagram. People can see that, but they might not understand the additional context behind it. So they'll engage with it because they think it's pretty. But if it's not that pretty to them, they might not engage with it. So being able to add in that context, that storyline, that extra oomph as a content creator.
Because the whole thing behind this is we as consumers are seeking out this video content more and more than anything else because we're getting lazy. Like we don't want to read blogs. We don't want to watch super long videos or like stare at a graphic that's not engaging.
Yes.
Approximately 87% of consumers want to see more video content from brands, with 39% specifically requesting explainer videos.
That's a very interesting statistic to me because we do explainer videos for almost all of our clients, but we do almost exclusively video content for all of our clients. So that it like perfectly matches
That's exactly
the demand.
what people want.
That's so wild. Do you think you're part of that 39% that wants explainer videos?
Yes, 100%. If I need an explanation for something, I'm like not really going to go to Google first to type it out. I always go to TikTok and I'm like, how do you do this?
I think I've edited too many. I don't want to.
So fair.
I'm at a point in my life right now, at least for the 2024 calendar year, where I do not want to be explained a single other thing.
I just feel like for me, it's quicker for me to watch a video than to read out an explanation.
100%. 100%. I hear you. So in terms of how the platforms have actually physically brought features into them as platforms, to align with this algorithmic change to video content. And when I say that, take it with a pinch of salt. It's been there for years. I think video content we've been transitioning to since 2020, 2019 even.
Yeah.
But I would say over the past year, it's exploded more than we thought it was going to explode. But for example, LinkedIn has brought in their vertical video feed feature, which I think a lot of people weren't expecting, because LinkedIn it's static. And if it's video, it was always square video. It was these longer form live videos. It was YouTube videos that were embedded
more
into the
formal
platform.
feel.
Now it's definitely transitioned more towards I would say millennials, Gen Zs that want a little bit more authenticity in their content. So LinkedIn's brought that out. TikTok has incorporated longer video lengths, which I also don't think we were ever expecting really from the platform prior to this year. I think we all thought that it was going to be a 15, 30, 60 second video platform. It is short form content. Now you can film videos up to 10 minutes.
Even longer. I watched a Barbie movie on TikTok.
No. Wait. Tell me more. You watched a Barbie movie on TikTok. How?
Somebody uploaded like Barbie the
Not in different parts.
No, one whole the Nutcracker. Barbie and the Nutcracker. What is it called? Barbie and the Dancing Princess. Something about dancing and Barbie and whatever. It was there, the full thing.
What?
Well, I watched a lot of it, and then I scrolled to the end.
That is so funny. So yes, even longer. I was only aware up until 10 minutes because that's the type of content that I'm consuming and creating. But that's actually insane. I cannot believe that you can watch a movie on TikTok. We need to fact check that.
60 minutes long.
You can have a 60-minute long video on TikTok.
An hour,
now.
yeah.
That is bonkers. I can't believe it. Instagram opened up their API to different scheduling platforms. So you can now schedule your reels through social media platforms, which never used to be a thing. You used to have to always post your reels manually. Literally the beginning of the year, we were still posting reels manually, which is so wild. So, I mean, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, those are three massive main platforms that have already brought changes just in the past year to lean more towards this influx of video content that their consumers are wanting. So reason number 2, in case we didn't explain it long enough and intensely enough, is the algorithms want video content. And if you aren't creating video content of some form, you are going to be on the back foot.
Yeah. It will perform better. Trust 100%. Us.
Reason number 3 is actually something I think people very often overlook. I've found myself overlooking it as well. Definitely I told myself accountable to take a step back and look at all the opportunities. But it's actually monetization through social media platforms and how that's coming in with short form. I mean, if you look at a brand that's creating really good content for their social media channels, if their content performs well enough, a platform like YouTube, a platform like TikTok could become revenue streams for them. Their marketing departments could be earning their company money, revenue, purely based off of views on platforms like YouTube through Shorts or TikTok if they're based in the US and have the Creator Fund, which for some
Is it only
reason,
in the US?
I think it's the US, the UK, Canada. Yeah, for some reason it's just like nowhere in Africa.
That's really rude. Yeah.
Sus.
It's sus.
I think the opportunities for monetization through video content, there's just so much more you can do.
Yeah. And even if you're not on the Creator Fund, like you said, or based in a country where it's easier for you to earn money through the actual platform, brand collabs are also huge.
Massive.
Because like we said, it's obviously like video is everywhere and people want to create more videos and all of these things. Brands are looking for influencers and not influencers. We've spoken about this before. UGC creators and just normal, authentic people to create content for them. They can't do it all themselves.
Yeah. I would say people falling more into the content creator label than influencer label. I think influencers 100%, the opportunity in monetization through brand deals and stuff like that with video content is massive. Yeah. But for smaller scale content creators, like being able to monetize off the content you're creating if it's good enough, if it's good enough for the brand, if it's on their type of the line that they're looking for in terms of their content, I think it's an opportunity that opens massive doors to people in the creative space.
Yeah. And I also think I don't want to keep calling them influencers. Okay. Creators, like creators with smaller niche communities are more and more getting like recognized by brands because they have such a dedicated targeted audience, especially if you have a really active community.
100%.
That's what brands are looking for as well.
I mean, I see that so much in the running community as well. I follow I would say a good 5-6 creators who have less than 100K followers, but the community is so tapped in. Like there are those Instagram groups that people are talking in all day, every day. It's all uplifting, empowering, helpful, it's kind, it's not toxic, it doesn't get mean, there's no hatred. And I think that type of community that a smaller content creator can build, if they then leverage their content creation skills off that community, the return on investment for brands will be massive in comparison to a influence that is maybe a little bit overinflated for a specific niche.
Yeah. I mean, we know like word of mouth is one of the best marketing strategies. And I think that's a way that you can tap into it, is through those smaller, really highly like engaged community.
Very targeted.
Corners of the internet.
Corners of the internet. Yes. Heading into point number 4, we have said this so many times this year. We have said it so many times in 2023 and in 2022. But I really think as we start heading into 2025, people are overseeing the same boring stuff recycled. They are overseeing brands with this intensive, high-level, detached styled video that is fully produced and has no personality and has no individual or authenticity or vibe. It's literally just a video that's trying to serve a purpose. And I think in 2025, this concept of authenticity on social media is going to become so much more important than it is already. I think it's already incredibly important. I mean, I saw there was a content creator I stumbled upon while scrolling on Instagram, and she had been invited with 24 other creators to a retreat in Switzerland by, if I'm not mistaken, it was a big content creation company. Like, I want to say it was a platform. I don't think it wasn't a social media platform per se. It might have been a CapCut. It might have been a Adobe, those types of bigger creative platforms. Invited all of these content creators because of the fact that they were telling stories through social media in a really authentic way. It wasn't just, and this is me in no way framing one as better than the other, but it wasn't for them just following trends or just creating content with an agenda for selling for a brand. It was them telling stories about their lives, about their day-to-day. Like, I mean, there were some day in the lives that were edited like cinematic movies. It was the most enjoyable content. So I really think brands and consumers alike are shifting more towards a space of wanting genuine, authentic stories.
Yeah. And I think also from an ads point of view, not just in organic, because it's easy to like think about it this way with organic content, but ads are also like, okay, we know consumers are becoming more and more aware that they're always being sold to, and people want more authentic things from brands, which is why things like EGC, UGC have popped up. But now people, because they're so aware that they're always being sold to, consumers have now kind of gained this appreciation for
100%.
really good, authentic storytelling types of ads.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, it makes you want to buy from the brand and not 100%. Just because, I mean, we're used to ads being disruptive, being intrusive, like, okay, I just want to, it must say skip so I can skip it. So yeah, when you can bring that storytelling vibe into and that authenticity into your ads as well, consumers really appreciate that even more, and then you make more sales and blah, blah, blah.
And I mean, ultimately, the most direct way of being authentic online is through video content. There's only so much you can get across through graphic or stills. Ultimately, video content is the most direct way to have an authentic connection with your audience as well. You know, you can only get so much across in a still, in a photo, in a carousel. And don't get me wrong, I think there's a lot of content creators, influencers, even brands that have really communicated really nicely through video, or through static and graphical content. However, when it comes to authenticity and genuine connection and personality, that comes through video content. It's like getting a text message versus a voice note.
100%.
It gives you such an additional layer to that person for that brand. So 100%. Yet another, one might say the fourth reason as to why you need to incorporate video content in 2025. Point number 5 is, I would say, a little bit more prevalent in terms of statistics, prevalent on the paid ad space. I think the organic space definitely is seeing a massive increase in return on investment. However, it's a little bit harder to track unless you have like affiliate links and you're working with big content creators who have big numbers who you can really pull like a good chunk of stats from. But video content has a proven higher return on investment than static content. So if you are running paid ads, if you have marketing campaigns that are going out, really thoroughly consider how you can incorporate video content into them. I mean, we have a stat here, video content increases landing page conversions by up to 80% and significantly impacts purchasing decisions, with 84% of people reporting that they've made a purchase after watching a brand's video.
Yeah.
And I mean, paid ads and paid advertising is massive. The whole advertising space is huge.
Yeah.
So to know that you can potentially get a little bit more of a foot in the door with incorporating a different content type in the form of video than static could be a really good competitive advantage.
Yeah. It comes from that whole understanding of like, how do you humanize a brand?
100%.
You know, people want to buy from people. They don't want to buy from a brand.
They don't want to buy from a static.
Yeah.
They want to buy from someone using the product. It builds trust, it builds reliability, it builds rapport. So 100%, if you are in the paid advertising space, if you're running any form of marketing campaign in 2025, heavily consider video content because it will make that competitive advantage difference.
100%.
So to recap, the 5 reasons why you should utilize video content in 2025 and why it is not too late to start. Number 1, video is king in terms of content consumption. It is what people are consuming the most. Number 2, the algorithms are favoring video. There have been so many platform changes that have happened in the past year, platform features that have been released, all favoring video content over static. Number 3, there are endless opportunities for monetization. If you are a brand that's pumping out a lot of high quality content through video format, you can monetize off of that. You can earn more. Your marketing divisions can become revenue generators purely because of the content they're creating and pushing out. Number 4, consumers want authentic and personalized content. I think we have said this more than anything else this past year.
It's the most important.
It is the most important. People want real people. People want genuine connections that they can build trust with and that they can ultimately rely on. And finally, number 5, proven ROI in terms of video content, specifically with paid advertising. Paid advertising is massive. It's going to be even bigger in 2025. I know that there'll be platform updates from a social media perspective that will preference or prefer or give preference to that one. Give preference to paid advertising versus organic, but definitely do not overlook video content for paid ads. It is a game changer. Okay, Oriana.
And that was that.
That was a doozy. We gave a lot of value there. We gave a lot of tips. Definitely do let us know in the comments if there's anything we missed in terms of video content. What have you seen in the market that you're like, how have they not spoken about this? Pop it down below and we'll have a look. Hopping over into Foresight, we are going to be doing some rapid fire edition 2025 trend predictions. I have put Oriana on the spot, so we're going to see what cool ones we can come up with. They need to be unhinged.
Okay.
They need to be hot takes. First hot take. I think that in 2025, I think, you know how you can edit a video in Canva?
Yeah.
I think Canva will develop a proper video editor in-app on the Canva app on your phone. That is very similar to what you get on CapCut and TikTok. I would love that. Okay, your turn.
I think TikTok is going to integrate, the video editor is nice, the in-app one, but I think they're going to integrate something crazy, like some AI, something that can like cut away all the ums and ahs and stuff like that.
Oh, kind of like an autopod vibe.
Almost.
Yeah. Okay.
If they don't they do that already?
No.
But there is an app that specifically will do that.
Yes, but not within TikTok.
But I think TikTok will do it.
Okay. I made this prediction earlier in the year. I really do think it's going to happen. I think in 2025, LinkedIn is going to allow for some form of monetization for their content creators. I think LinkedIn would be so off the mark if they do not reward the thought leaders on their platform.
Yeah, they need it. Honestly, it would pop off.
Honestly, imagine being able to monetize the content you're posting on LinkedIn in 2025.
Damn.
Valuable.
Valuable.
Okay, give me one more.
I think just because they can, I think YouTube is going to add stories.
That's actually such a good one.
They're like the only platform that doesn't have a story feature.
I feel like YouTube will add stories.
Because they're so late. They were so late with shorts. So now they're like, oh my gosh, guys, we should put in stories.
I have my last one. I saw WhatsApp's advertising. We spoke about it the other day. WhatsApp's advertising is coming out massively. Like there's carousels in WhatsApp chats.
Looks really cool, by the way.
It does look really cool. I think that is going to be a massive revenue generator for brands in 2025. I think people are going to really, particularly, I would say, your older generations that are very susceptible to anything on WhatsApp. Like anytime they get added to a group and there's a Tanis making bath bombs or selling parfums, like they always purchase from WhatsApp groups.
And the WhatsApp doctors, man.
Oh, the WhatsApp doctors. But go to an actual doctor. Do not listen to WhatsApp doctors. But yeah, I think WhatsApp is going to be a massive revenue generator for the right brands that hop on it at the right time.
That's a good one, actually.
I agree. Thanks.
Because people are always there.
Yeah. Do you have one more?
Nope.
Okay, that's it. We gave 5 5 trend predictions for 2025. Thank you so much for joining us, Oriana.
You are welcome for me being your honored guest.
That is officially our final podcast episode for 2025. Thank you as a full-time team for all of the support, all of the love, all of the engagement, and all of the listening. I think we've had some great conversations this year. Next year, we're super excited to be welcoming some guests onto the podcast to chat with our industry experts that are sitting here in the room. And yeah, I'm really excited for 2025. I think as a team, we've got a lot of growing to do. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions or if you have anything to add. Oriana?
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.